In this video, we continue our work with multiplication of polynomials, but now we're going to talk about multiplying polynomial functions, and we're going to be using our function notation. So notice that in our examples here, in our example 1 here, we have given f of x equals 3x, so you should be recognizing that as a linear function. Let's just remind ourselves of that. So that's linear function, that's a line. We did some work with lines. And g of x equals 5x minus 3, there's another linear function. Okay, and then h of x, which is 9x squared plus 7x minus 2, this one's quadratic. It's got a degree 2, as you know, because of the x squared. And those are the ones whose graphs are going to be parabolas. We're going to be doing more work on that in a future chapter. In part A, we're going to evaluate f of x times g of x. So what that means is we're creating a new function that's made up of taking the product of two other functions, f and g. F of x times g of x will be given by 3x times 5x minus 3. Notice how we just substituted in the expression for f of x and the expression for g of x and did a multiplication. So we need a product. And this is creating a new function. But let's go ahead and simplify that. So we do need to do some distributing here with the 3x. This notation on the left, there's another way that you will see this. It means the same thing. You may see it as f times g of x. These two mean the same thing. F of x times g of x, or f times g of x. And that's function notation for this new product function, polynomial function, which is given by 15x squared minus 9x. So there's my new product function, and it is quadratic, so we multiplied together two linear functions to get a quadratic function. In B, we're creating a new function, but this time we're multiplying function f with function h. And so we have 3x times 9x squared plus 7x minus 2. So we have f times h, and we're going to distribute that 3x to get 27x cubed plus 21x squared minus 6x. And that's our new function, f of x times g of x, which we can also write as that. Okay, so now we got a cubic degree 3 function. In C, now we're creating a new function using g times itself. Do you see that? So we're multiplying g of x times itself, which means that we're taking 5x minus 3 times itself. And we know that we are going to distribute that, FOIL that, or use the special product formula for squaring a binomial. We get 25x squared, and our middle term will be 2 of these negative 3 times 5x, or negative 15x. So it'll be 2 of those, and then plus 9. So we get 25x squared minus 30x plus 9 as our new function, g of x times g of x, or g times g of x. A quadratic, a parabola, that's what we got. In D, now we're going to multiply together g of x times h of x. So we're going to take the linear function, 5x minus 3, and multiply it times 9x squared plus 7x minus 2. And so we've got 6 terms to handle. So just be careful when you distribute that you end up with 6 terms before you're combining. So you have to be really careful because it's easy to miss a term. So here's what we get. When we distribute the 5x, we get 45x cubed plus 35x squared minus 10x. Now let's distribute the negative 3 and line up the like term. So we get negative 27x squared minus 21x plus 6. Notice how I've lined up those like terms. And now for our g times h of x function, we are going to get 45x cubed plus 8x squared minus 31x plus 6 as our new product function.